So, unless you've been living under a rock, you happened to catch last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. And we are on season 7, y'all, of Miami, and we're talking about the reunion, part 1. Now, I know for the most part, a lot of us who, or a lot of you guys who may tune into this particular channel, you're used to me typically talking about the shows that feature more of the women of color in terms of like Atlanta, Potomac, Married to Medicine, Love and Hip Hop, Bell Collective, Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I am interested in these other shows. I just find it so interesting this season, what's happening on Miami. I just felt like we needed to have a discussion about it. Also, too, what I'm learning is a lot of you guys are leaving me comments or sending me messages telling me that you don't get notifications for my videos, which is very interesting. So I'm looking to maybe figure out another platform to continue my content journey on. Just letting you guys know that right now. Whether that will be like a Substack or whether that will be, listen, I had even thought about the OnlyFans, y'all, because there are people who actually have their own shows on there. So I'm just thinking outside of the box because why not, right? I want to own my own content. I don't want to depend on nobody's algorithm. I want to do things my way. But more on that later. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Listen, your boy is open to trying some new things. I'm trying to elevate and I'm trying to continue to get my travel on. Okay, so now with that being said, so I wasn't really gonna. I didn't quite know if I was gonna talk about this or not on the channel initially because I did the Reality Court podcast this morning with my girl Anna Kinkosis. For those of you guys that don't know, Anna was featured on season 2 of The Real Housewives of Miami, and briefly, I think one of the two of the last seasons, I would say she came in and she made an appearance. But she also has a podcast with Ace Fanning called Reality Court on one of my new podcast homes, Her That Entertainment. Well, my only podcast home, right? So I have a new podcast that's coming out very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. I'm super excited about it. More on that later. I wanted to say that we had such a good conversation. So the episode is already out. Definitely check it out if you haven't already done so. I know some of you guys follow Reality Core already, so you may have already heard it. It literally came out a few hours ago. Super good episode. We broke it all down, but I want to break it down here too. All right, so for me, I did feel like the ladies and Andy did not do a good job listening or hearing Gertie out. I just don't think that this show is a safe space for Gertie. I just don't find it's disturbing to watch almost. I was actually not going to watch this episode until Anna let me know that we were going to be recapping it. And so I had to power through it, y'all. And I love the show. I do love most of the ladies because I think that they are a hoot. They are, fabulous women. But at the end of the day, y'all, I just feel like what's happening with Gertie on there and the rest of the ladies, it feels trashy to me. I don't like it. I don't like that Andy didn't quite understand what the text messages proved because I'm like, Andy, do you watch this show? This woman, Gertie, has had to literally scream from the top of her lungs, though she doesn't listen. And a testament to Gertie is that she doesn't need to raise her voice. She did not raise her voice last night. She used logic, intellect, and homegirl kept her foot on their necks, okay? They were trying to railroad her every which way. Larsa chiming in, Alexia chiming in, Marisol chiming in. And I love that Gertie stood her ground, stood 10 toes down. She did not yell. She did not get upset. She simply made her points. She stuck her points, and she was not letting up on Julia. My biggest thing that I feel like with Gertie and why she wouldn't let this thing go with Julia is because I think Gertie considered Julia a real friend. Gertie went through a cancer journey just like Martina went through her own cancer journey. And so I feel that Gertie really genuinely thought that Julia was her friend. And so all of the theatrics and the shenanigans that Julia, as I'm realizing now, is a part of her stick, right? The crazed, sort of unhinged Julia that we now see in flashback. And that's another thing I love when Gertie was like, roll the tape back. And what you're going to show now in the flashback, she didn't say, will you show the flashback? She said, what you're going to show now in the flashback. Because she's like, oh, no, 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 no. This footage exists. We see you banging chairs and that sort of thing and breaking chairs and throwing things and doing all of these other things. This is your MO. This is just the first time that they really caught this thing on camera. You had your moment, okay? And so as Julia sits there and says, I don't know how many times I have to apologize, but I will apologize again to you. Trying her best to look contrite, knowing good and well 30 minutes later she was going to be armed and dangerous with the intel, the alleged, let me put the alleged badge up here, the alleged intel that she has bumped cooters with Adriana. And see, this is another thing. If I were to be on another platform, like a Patreon still, I don't know, Patreon I think still relies on YouTube. I could show y'all the clip in its entirety and we could just watch it for ourselves. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, she had every intention of so contritely, oh, I'm so sorry to this woman. I'm sorry to you, Gertie. And you know, some things that pissed me off, Andy, number one, not understanding why Gertie needed to explain why she showed those text messages at her event. It's because nobody was listening to her. Nobody was listening to her tell them, hey, we didn't have any problems. I was on that cruise ship because I got an invite to be there. I'd already been on the cruise ship. Julia asked me to come with her again. This is the sequence of events Julia is doing the most right now to try to, I don't know, either secure her spot. My thought with Julia is this. I feel like Gertie thought that was her friend, and Julia is playing Housewives. What do I mean by that? I feel like Julia has recognized the Housewives games, and maybe she's learned a little bit from Marisol. I really don't know. What I will say is that I feel like Julia is trying to trade up. She knows that Gertie is disposable. She knows that Adriana is disposable to the rest of those ladies, right? So, in order for her to continue to stick around, it would behoove her to be on the side of the winning team, right? That would be Alexia, Marisol, and Larsa. I don't think they could. I don't think those girls could really care less about her. I think she is just a pawn. Okay, just the pawn. The overreactive person who is going to provide the most performative, extreme actions to give the show the crazed, unhinged like drama that people are looking for these days. And Julia gave us all of that. So she has become the wind up toy, right? And I think that it is more beneficial for her in her eyes if she stays on that team. And I wonder if someone before the season said, girl, you're in danger. You need to do something. And that something was throwing that liquid water at Gertie, because did you notice how Larsa was making a point to say, well, it's not like she didn't know she was going to throw the water. How do you know what was in that girl's head? How do you know? What makes you so sure of that, Larsa, of the non-moving face? Like, what makes you so sure? How do you know that? And I say that, y'all already know how I feel. Inject me, please, doctor. Give me something to cover up these wrinkles up in here that you cannot see because they are covered by the hat. Give me a little Botoxical here, a little injectable here. Y'all know I tell you, okay, if I could bring the doctor on right now and had him bloop, 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 face, right? But at the end of the day, I kid, but not really. Hit me up, doctors. Anyway, I'm trying to stay looking young, y'all. All right, so I digress. Andy not recognizing it. Alexia, and this is what Andy did that pissed me off. Alexia says, As soon as they start off with the conversation, we should have done more, Gertie. Yada yada yada. That's not what you were saying a while ago. You was doubling down earlier, but now all of a sudden, now that the fans have called y'all out and walked the dogs on y'all, now all of a sudden you contrite. Okay, but Andy says now that Alexia has apologized, and Gertie, I love it. It's like what apology? Because there was no apology there. That was not an apology. That was, let me pacify you, the fans, mostly, and you, by letting you know. And I feel like Andy's job is just to keep things like, ooh, let's keep it pushing. Let's just keep it pushing. There was an offense. Okay, Gertie, they apologized. Now it's time for you to get over it. No. I love that she was like, no, that wasn't an apology. I respect that you acknowledge that you're now in this place. But let's talk about what you did right after that. Let's talk about all that you did then. That y'all was still chastising me about my friendship with Nicole. Okay, let's get to the issue of what this really is. Y'all don't like Nicole. Y'all don't like that I'm friends with her. And here it is. Boom. That's the problem. Or at least one of them. Okay. And I don't even know why Stephanie is chiming in on any of this. Girl, you barely go here. Like, stop it. This ain't your fight. You don't know nothing about it. Just sit there in that lime green that is staining the couch. Okay? And why is your outfit, if you are that rich, your outfit should not be staining the couch. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Why your outfit staining the couch? You got all these provisions about what people can and cannot wear on your jumbo jet, but you don't know enough not to test out this fabric that before you sit down on this white couch. I knew that outfit won't no good no way. I mean, I don't have no problem with Stephanie. I'm just saying I feel like she just be up in the mix on things that she ain't got no clue about. Still disappointed a little bit with Kiki because I feel like Kiki is willfully not understanding the way she kind of handled Gertie in that moment was not necessarily the way I feel like your homegirl will handle a situation like that with you. Like if that's my homeboy, my homegirl, somebody just threw water on them. Like, no, I'm gonna be, no, that was wrong, girl. Like, I'm not gonna be like, let's run away, let's run, especially when Gertie is not doing anything. Gertie is responding. She is defending herself, but she is not out of control. Okay. The person that you need to be directing that towards is Julia. Okay. Julia. Nah. Okay. And so, do I think that, listen, does Kiki deserve to get online, railing? No, absolutely not. The point of these shows is obviously we're going to react to things, especially when we find things that are offensive to us, we're going to react to them. And yeah, I get it. We get passionate, but I think sometimes I wonder if the ladies mistake some of the online things that they get as less than critiques, as more of, and I do see some mean things that are being put out there about Julia. And I did see maybe that's anything about Kiki. I just felt like people were let down by Kiki, honestly, mostly. I couldn't stand how Marisol and Larsa were trying to make this about things that have happened to them in the past when somebody has thrown something at them. Let me tell you something. If you had that issue in the past, you should have took it up with them at the past reunion, not this reunion. So if you got a problem with that, then you should have addressed it then, but you didn't. So it wasn't that big of a deal to you then. But this is a big deal to her now. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to minimize what she's going through because you went through something else in the previous year for which may not have affected you in the same way that it is affecting her, because this is a different situation put on by someone who has continuously done this time and time again, i.e. Julia. And let's break on down the bottom line of it all about Julia and the nastiness, the rumors and nastiness, the low down wig of it all is that Julia is going to say the reason why she is having so much drama with Adriana is because they slept together in the Hamptons in 2021. Girl, what does that have to do with today? What does that have to do with 2024 and 2025? And if that is the case, if she is having an issue with you because y'all slept together 4 years ago, I don't know why it will be coming up now. I don't know why there will be a problem now. What do you think? She wants you now, and she can't have you. What is it? Because girl, what you did in that moment was, let me tell you something. This is to me a dangerous person, in my opinion. In my opinion, because I feel like this is a dangerous person that would sleep with somebody. Okay, you got this whole situation going on at your house, all right? But you would sleep with her, then you would out her on national TV that you have slept with her. See, for me, I feel like this. Who people sleep? If you want to say, you know what, I sleep around. Okay, you can say that about yourself. I don't like when people say, "Oh yeah, I slept with so and so." To me, that's the dirty work right there. That's the dirty work because how you know that person want the world to know that they slept with you? They might regret that thing. Okay, she might not. She might be like, it didn't work right for me. I didn't like it. It tastes like salt. You just never know what the experience was for the other person. And how do you know that that other person is comfortable having their experience, having their intimate experiences put on Front Street like that? She didn't say it. She didn't talk about it. She didn't out it. So why would you? Especially knowing that you are in this situation with your whole wife and you got these adopted kids and whatnot and whoop de woo and all of these things in a farm and a partridge and a pear tree. Girl, why would you even bring this up? See, this to me screams of desperation. Oh, yes. Because in my opinion, Julia has been in danger for some time now. And Julia needed to do some things in order to make some things shake in order to stay on this show. I feel like she has tried everything she could, and this was going to be her moment. Because when Andy asked that question, hey, well, what's going on with you and Adriana? Well, asking Adriana, Julia is piping in, ready to spill the planned tea. Okay. Julia has had this Lipton sitting on her sofa, sitting on her couch, sitting in her car, it sat in the car overnight. It's probably got the mold and the mildew in it, just ready. She warmed it up in the microwave before she came back out on the set, ready to spill it. And Andy had to tell her, no, I'm listening to Adriana right now. So Adriana talks, says her spiel about what she thinks about what Homegirl has been doing to her. And Julia, then when she has her moment in her shaky voice, is like, oh my God, I think I know what the problem is with Adriana. We slept together. And I'm like, girl, like, come on. And the people reacting on social media, I mean, can you look at these faces? I don't know if you can see the faces. I mean, Larsa's face looks pretty much the same because I don't think it really moves that much. Again, inject me. But if you look at all the reactions, now, well, how much you want to bet Alexia already knew? Marisol might have already. Listen, I don't know that to be true. I'm just guessing. I'm wondering. I'm asking you if you think that they already knew. But a part of me feels like Marisol probably already knew it. Yeah, girl, we slept together. Oh, wonder if you should let the people know at the reunion. Ooh, I don't know if that happened. I don't. I'm just making it up. But it sounds like I don't know. What you think? Let me know in the chat. Who you think knew already? Do you think anybody knew? I think some other people knew. And I'm thinking, in my opinion, Adriana is sitting there looking like, what? Either that or she was like, I can't believe you just said that about me. Exactly. Somebody says it right here. The last slide of Marisol is not that of a woman in shock over what she heard. That's the woman. That's the look of a woman delighted that Julia spilled it. Let me look at it. Mm-hmm. It's giving. Girl, I can't believe you did it, but you did it. Yes. Look at these faces. But people are reacting like somebody says, so you're telling me that Julia cheated on her wife that has cancer. Then she throws a drink on Gertie, another woman who has been through cancer, and proceeds to gang up on her. Then she waits to drop this bomb because she knows her seat's not secure for next season. Okay, then. Someone else says Julia desperately seeking to get a renewed contract for next season. Someone else says Miami is literally the best Housewives franchise right now because this ish is effing nuts. The crazy part about Julia's big revelation is no one cares, and it was irrelevant to the question at hand. This is what makes Julia so unserious and only proves everyone's point about her being an opportunist. Okay? Then somebody else says this. The gasp, I just gusped. um, Julia needs to go. She cheats on her sick wife, used Adriana, more so now that we understand why Adriana is so hurt. And she was vile towards Gertie, who has just survived cancer. Julia's own kids. Oop, I'm not gonna go there because I don't want to talk about nobody kids. Um, Someone else says, oh, the pink box says, I have a big problem, and Julia is the problem. She does not need to come back. First of all, I don't believe a word she says because she allegedly lies more than a Persian carpet. Number two, she tried to make Adriana sound like some sort of Sharon Stone in the Hamptons situation, trying to make her sound so manipulative and so this and that. Girl, goodbye. This was not a bomb drop. Come on now. This was character assassination 101. And that's all Julia knows how to do. And the fact that you did this on your wife when she was the sick, yeah, Julia, you're some special person. Be that as it may, I really don't care for her wife anyway. So there we go. But that being said, even if true, for her to out Adriana on national TV is disgusting. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's none of my business until Adriana decides to make it my business. Julia proved without a shadow of a doubt that she is exactly who I see her for. She's cold, she's calculated, she's microaggressive, and I think she just lost Adriana from her life, and that was a conscious choice. Thoughts on or opinions, I don't care. Tag who you want to tag. Say what you want to say. I don't care. I love a stand on business person. Stand on it. This was the moment, y'all.
Hopefully, on why we are with Adriana where we are.
Tell us. Tell us.
In the Hamptons, Adriana and I slept together.
Man, it was the dramatics of it. The dramatic in the Hamptons. Are you ready, girls? Adriana and I slept together. This is the very definition of I will burn my own house down to burn yours. And it always, in my opinion, turns out looking crazy. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I know some of y'all really get a kick out of Miami, so I had to just give you my 2 cents because it was percolating in my brain, and now I'm about to go take my walk. Make sure you guys leave us a comment. Let me know what you thought. What did you think of Julia's big reveal? Do you believe that it happened? And if you do, I mean, do you think it has anything to do with any bearing on why they are where they are now? Or do you think it's just because Julia is truly an opportunist? What did you think of the ladies and their responses to Gertie? I want to know what you thought in the comment section down below. And what do you guys think? OnlyFans, Patreon, Substack? What should I do? Where should we go next? Right? Candy, cold at night. I don't know why that popped in my head. Anyway, catch y'all in the next video.